Hello and welcome to my channel. We're going to be doing things a little differently today. So as you can see in today's video, I transformed myself into a fabulous drag queen. Something I don't know if I've shared before on my channel before is that I am completely obsessed with RuPaul's Drag Race. On Instagram, I almost exclusively follow Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, which is the kind of dog I have, and drag queens. Yes, I'm completely obsessed. So to celebrate tonight's season 9 finale of RuPaul's Drag Race, I thought I would do a drag transformation on myself. So if you want to see how I transformed myself into this fierce queen, just keep watching. To get started, I used a Elmer's glue stick to glue down my eyebrows. So what I'm doing here is spreading the glue the opposite way that my brows naturally grow so that each brow, each hair is as coated with glue as possible. And then I'm taking a spoolie and just brushing them up. Obviously, the goal is to get them as flat against your skin as possible. And basically, you're just gonna repeat this process over and over until your brows are as flat as you want them to be. Just keep gluing and spoolieing, gluing and spoolieing. This is a very arduous process. I watched a ton of YouTube tutorials to get ready for this, and it still didn't really adequately prepare me. As you can tell, I have really thick, dark, bushy eyebrows, so taming them is quite a feat. After a couple times of repeating the process with the actual glue stick, I then took a little spatula and just picked up glue off of the stick and to get that really into my brows to make sure that every little piece of hair was covered. This also creates a nice little barrier. Then I just used the flat end of the spatula to brush up to make sure there were no clumps of glue. After I got my brows as flat as I was happy with, I went in with some LA Girl Peach Color Corrector on top of the brows and then went in with my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation Stick. Here I'm using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish powder in the shade Medium to pack on my brow and try and cover up those dark hairs. And then to set everything in place, I'm just using a big powder puff and my RCMA No Color powder to set my forehead and my brows, and then I just wiped off the excess powder. For the rest of my face, I went back in with my Makeup Forever foundation stick. I love this, it's so creamy and blends just so well, and I wanted really full coverage, so this was definitely the foundation to go with. Obviously, since this is a drag makeup look, I'm going in with much more exaggerated highlighting and contouring. Once I have all of that blended out, I'm gonna go in with some more RCMA powder and just set my entire face. Since I'm gonna be starting with my eyes, I added some extra RCMA powder under my eyes so that if there's fallout, I can just brush it off. To start with my eyes, I'm using the NYX retractable eyeliner in the shade Aqua Green to draw out my crease. And then I just took a little brush and started blending out that line so it would get a little more smoked out. Once I traced my crease out, I went in with the LA Girl Mark My Eyes eyeliner to start creating the wing. To start blending out my new crease, I went into the shade Madagascar in the Juvia's Place Saharan 2 palette. I chose this warm tone brown because I really wanted to bring a sort of natural shadow into that crease to make it look more like my natural crease. To blend out that crease, I kept going back and forth between Makeup Geek Sure Thing and Shark Bait Shark Bait, I concentrated more on the outer corner since it's a darker green color. To carve out my crease, I used the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Exit. Since drag is really about exaggerated features, I really wanted to carve out and make it really distinguishable between the liner and the crease. And then to set that cream, I used the NYX eyeshadow in the shade Whipped Cream, which is just a really matte white. Whew! Now comes the really hard part. This was so tough for me, and I alternated between a couple different products. As you can see, I started with the e.l.f. brow pencil, and then I switched over to the CoverGirl brow and liner powder because I wasn't getting as much payoff with the e.l.f. liner. Then I still wasn't happy, so I switched over to my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow definer to try and create my new brow. Once I was happy with the shade, I then used a couple more products to fill in my brows. I started off with the Anastasia brow powder, then I switched to the brow definer, and then I ended up using some eyeshadows as well. Next, I took a blending brush and took more of that Makeup Geek Shark Bait shade and just ran that under my eyes. And then I took my Ardency In Monster eyeliner to line my lower waterline. I wanted to bring a little bit of sparkle to my eyes, so I used the Makeup Geek Pigment in Prism, and I packed that on top of the white eyeshadow. Off camera, I popped on the Ardell Studio Effects eyelashes, and then it was time to contour. To carve out my cheeks, first I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. This is the powder kit, and this is the darkest color in the kit. And I also used that same shade to carve out my nose. I realized I was looking really pale, so I went in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Banana Powder just to add a little bit of color under my eyes. By this point, I was really feeling myself and I could not stop checking myself out. To add some more dimension to my face and to my contour, I then went in with my Benefit Hoola Bronzer. I watch enough RuPaul's Drag Race to know you gotta bake your face, so I went in with some more RCMA No Color powder to carve out my cheeks. And throughout this entire process, I kept going back in between steps and blending out the eyeshadow some more until I was happy. I also added some Makeup Geek Corrupt in the outer corner to add some more dimension and make it look like a natural eyelid. For blush, I took the Milani Powder Blush in the shade Tea Rose. This is one of my favorite blushes. For my lips, first I used the Rimmel lip liner in the shade Ravish, and I really went crazy overlining my lips. For me, this is probably one of the funnest parts of doing this makeup because I don't really overline my lips a lot on my everyday makeup. I do like a tiny bit, but not a lot, and I really wanted big, full, juicy, voluptuous lips for this makeup look. Over top of the liner, I went in with the Morphe liquid lipstick in the shade Suspect. I decided since I had so much color going on in my eyes, instead of doing a really red lip or a really bold lip, I keep it slightly natural looking. And then to create more dimension in my lips, I went in with the Ofra liquid lipstick in the shade Versailles. Okay, and here's my finished drag transformation. I'm so amazed with how this turned out. I can't stop staring at myself. There are definitely things that I would do differently and better in the future. I've got to say, gluing down the eyebrows is the hardest thing ever. I tried like 6 or 7 times before I finally got this. That was so tough. Drag queens have all my love, respect, and admiration because being a woman is tough enough, but going through all of this is just ridiculous. Like, it was crazy. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I was really in the mood to just do something completely different and something really fun, and this definitely was it. I had a ton of fun making this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. How do you come up with your drag name? Let's see. How would I come up with your drag name? Ooh. Shantae, you slay. Okay, let's play. Pick a style of drag. Ooh. Clearly I'm campy. Okay, if you had to lip sync for your life, which song would you pick? Vogue by Madonna, Bad Romance by Lady Gaga, Last Dance by Donna Summer, What a Man by Salt-N-Pepa, Supermodel of the World by RuPaul, Stronger by Britney Spears. Obviously Supermodel of the World. Duh. Which of these famous drag queens would you choose to be your mentor? Raja, Tyra Sanchez, Latrice Royale, Conchita Wurst, Lady Bunny, or Alaska? That's really hard because I love Raja and I also love Alaska. I feel like I would go with Raja because I feel like Raja would be like no nonsense and like she is so talented. She's an amazing makeup artist, so I think I'm gonna go with Raja. What is your favorite drag accessory? Heels, lipstick, wigs, eyelashes, jewelry, gowns. Duh, wigs. Oh, pick a crown, okay. Oh, this is so hard. Okay, calculating results. Be a good name. Shanita D. Do I look like a Shanita D? Watch out, ladies and gentlemen, because here comes Shanita. You are one fiery queen who is not afraid to tell it like it is and put haters in their place. When it comes to throwing shade, you have earned your degree. Yes, ma'am. You are a quick-witted queen with a sharp sense of humor, and while that may intimidate others, you know how to be kind and caring when it comes down to it. Now, sissy that walk. Yes, nailed it. Thank you, playbuzz.com. You just described me perfectly.
They paying your